Hello, and today I'll be showing off my Project 4. Um, my Project 4 is putting the mini games into the game itself, and in the form of these signs, and connecting those mini games with the corresponding medallions. Um, First, I'll go over the blueprints. This first blueprint is the the game instance. What's stored here is these 6 variables for the different level changing mini games. Because of those changing levels, you have to store the visibility in some sort of way. Um, and then these 2 integers are for determining which jigsaw and which trivia is, depending on which initiation sign you click. The last 13 variables here are determining if you collected that specific medallion or not. So the medallion blueprints are divided into 2 different types. This first one is the jigsaw type, which on begin play, you turn collision off, and so the player can't run into the invisible medallions. You stop the music and you turn the visibility off. Down here, when you overlap with the medallion once it appears, um, which it has to be visible for this to work, it increments the counter, and then it sets that medallion to collected and destroys the box, so you can't keep collecting it over and over again. So over at the Jigsaw initiation signs, when you click on a sign, it sets the Jigsaw puzzle to the specific Jigsaw. So like this one sets it to 1, and it also changes the picture here. Which that number from before goes to the widget BP, which goes to 2 different branches. This top one determines which medallions you're connected to. That way, you can create the appropriate references. And then down here, it uses it with the second branch. It checks if that medallion's been collected. If not, it will turn the visibility on and allow it to be collectible, basically. And then the second type blueprint is for the level changing ones, which is similar to the jigsaw ones. You turn collision off, but the checking of the medallion collection is determined inside the medallion blueprint itself for the level changing ones. And from that, you can it determines the visibility or not, if it appears or not. And then the overlap one is the same. It increments and then sets that medallion to collected once you collect it. Over here at the quiz initiation, it determines which quiz or trivia you're doing, which corresponds to 2 different blueprints. This first one, from that number, determines which question you need for that trivia. And then the second one is another 2 sets of branches, with the first one saying references, and then the second one determining the visibility of those medallions. So now I'll show off the blueprints in action. So this first medallion is the only one not connected to a main game. That way the player can collect at least one without having to play a main game. So if I go up to this trivia sign and interact, I can go through the mini game, and because I at least attempted it, I can quit out and the appropriate medallion will spawn. And as you see, I collected it. If I go back into that mini game and try again, try to get like the right answers, I can go out, and that medallion will not spawn. As you can see above, the total counter has been saving in between the level changes. So that was an example of a level changing medallion in minigame. So this is an example of the jigsaw one, which is just interact. I can say like try to attempt it, but if I find it too hard, if I call it out, I at least attempted it, so the appropriate medallions will spawn. And if I go over to this jigsaw one over here, if I click this one, it will pop up a different picture than the one before, and also will spawn a different medallion. So, just like that. And there's 12 signs corresponding to 12 different medallions, with the 13th medallion being that one at the beginning that we already collected. So in regards to how this project deals with player motivation and player psychology, um, these signs or this way of doing the game now motivates the player to do the mini games, because the medallions, which are the main point of the overall Star Valley game, is now behind these mini games. So you have to at least attempt these mini games to go and collect the medallions, which make our medallions also the reward system of our game. And we wanted to make it so that we didn't want to force the player to complete the mini game every single time, so they aren't forced into it. They at least since they at least attempted it, we will give them the chance to pick up the medallion. But yeah, that is my project 4. Thanks for watching.